Well, guys, I'm Renee Knorr, and I'm so excited to be here this afternoon, really this morning. It all depends on where you are in the part of the world. You could be in the afternoon if you're over there in London, or even if you're over in Africa. I hope everybody can hear my voice. Can you guys hear my voice?
Yep. Loud and
Awesome,
clear.
awesome. Well, not only am I excited that I'm here with these two distinguished gentlemen, it's all about Tom Ford Fridays. And we are officially live on YouTube. We're also live, and I want to make sure that we are live on YouTube. So, guys, if you can just confirm that for me in the clubhouse, if you guys can give me some thumbs up to see that we are live. Let's see. All right. Crystal's like, yes, guys, we are live. We have not only, okay, I know we have a little echo, so let's see what we're going to do. How about if you mute until I finish? I think that's over by Jeff's side. Can you guys hear me okay now?
Yeah, I got you loud and clear.
Awesome. And I want to just make sure you guys know where we are today. It is Thursday. We are not only in the clubhouse, we're also right here on YouTube. And we're going to go live on our Instagram if we're all in agreement that we can't do that. Can we all do that, guys? Let's see. Can we do that?
Yeah.
Okay, yes. Okay, so what we'll do right when we get back, we're going to play this commercial break. And then when we come back, we'll be on live on the set. And then we're going to be live on YouTube as well. I'm Renee Knorr, model, creative director, founder of Global Women Wealth Warriors, Wellness Hub, and GW3 Magazine. I dedicated my life and devoted my career into helping women and girls to achieving their goals. I've been passionate about empowering women and enriching men. This opportunity in working with the Global Women Wealth Warriors have afforded me the pleasure of traveling outside of the country to be a support unit, most importantly, to help impact and change lives. Our ultimate purpose is to help others to become whole from finance, spiritual, mental, as well as physical. We know there are challenges and obstacles to get you to the next level. However, it's time for you to level up, boss up, and welcome to Power to Soar. And now, guys, we are back, and I know we're back on YouTube. Down probably on the volume. Okay, we're back on Instagram. I'm here on YouTube as well as we're in the clubhouse, and I see that I'm going to invite Jeff, the entrepreneur, alongside with, I see you as well, Gerald, on the Instagram, IG. Okay, so I sent you an invite. And Jeff, do you see me also sending you the invite? Let's see, Jeff. Everybody said we look so amazing, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. There you go. I'm going to turn my volume. Gerald, turn your volume down. Okay, I see Gerald. Now I'm looking for Jeff. Let's see. There we go. Let's see.
All right. Can
Are
you all
we
hear
all
me
in?
okay?
Yes. Here we go. Oh my goodness. Whoo! Okay, it's like we had to hit the reset button from this morning, right? We are live officially. We were working out at 5 a.m. in the morning, but Jeff, man, you had a little bit going on yesterday. And I want to first introduce you both to the set. Not only am I grateful to have the man himself, known as the relationship coach, he is the man of the hour that we're talking with, Mr. Gerald Hightower. And then we have also the man that's known for all marketing, artificial intelligence, as well as getting your messages out there, Mr. Jeff, the entrepreneur, Mr. Jeff Cunningham. How are you guys doing today?
Doing good, Lady Renee. Thanks for having me. Thanks for having us.
I know, right? We are here with our Tom Ford Thursday, and we did a little bit of a remix because usually with our Tom Ford is always on Fridays. But you know what? What better day to have it than our Thought Leader Thursday, which is today. Now, guys, you look spectacular. Ladies, don't you just love a man when he knows how to dress? Don't you just love a man with style? I mean, as it stands right now, how long did it take you guys to get dressed this morning? Come on now, talk to me, Gerald. Gerald, go first, and then Jeff, you go next. How long did it take you to get dressed?
Yeah, literally, it took me about 45 minutes. So I had to get my whole little situation together. I wanted to go white shirt, black blazer, but the white shirt just wasn't working for me. And I said, I want something a more crispier look. So I said, boom, I'll go black shirt, white blazer. So here we are.
Awesome. Well, let me see what the ladies and the gents think. Do you guys think he did a really good job? What do you guys think about his collection? If you're in the clubhouse, go ahead on and put some hearts up. If you are there on the Instagram, oh, they're blowing it up. They got hearts everywhere.
Let me give my ebony man model look.
Oh, not the ebony man model. Okay. I love it. You know, he made me have to step up my game, guys. That's right. He definitely did. You look great over there. And of course.
No, listen, my brother Jeff is a natural. My brother Jeff, he just rolls out of bed. He's automatically GQ. Throw some water in his hair and just like, bam, he's cover of GQ just automatically. You're muted, Jeff.
You're muted, Jeff.
Oh, you're still muted, brother. You're muted over here on StreamYard.
You're on StreamYard, you're muted.
Can you hear me okay now?
Now we can hear you. Yes.
Yeah.
It takes a little longer than that. I wish it was that easy. Sometimes it is, sometimes it's not, you know? So as you get older, but Renee, your style all the time. Oh my goodness. How long does it take you to get ready? That's a $1 million question.
Well, you know, it's so funny. It took me a little longer today because I knew I had to bring my A game. Okay, I knew I had to bring my A game because I was going to have an opportunity of having you two here with me, Jeff. We've always had the interviews with the ladies, and this time we wanted to do something a little different. We want to bring something to our viewers as well as your viewers in regard to how we are showing up, not only in relationships and also in business, but I will also say just in life in general. Is that okay with you guys today?
Sure, absolutely. Let's go. I'm ready.
All right. I love it. Well, we talked about our style first and how important it is for us to have that. But let's go into a deeper dive. When you think about fashion and style, Gerald, even when it comes down to you even selecting those significant others, how important it is for us to be able to carry on the right type of style and how to identify our style as well. Why is that important?
For women?
For women and men.
For women and men. So I'll say this. When you dress well, when you dress good, you feel good. When you feel good, you perform good. When you perform good, you serve good, right? And I just find that to be a truism of life. You know, it doesn't mean that you have to be striving for the best dressed of the whole entire room. We reserve that position for you, Lady Renee. But, you know, when you dress up, even working from home, you know, Jeff and I, we're blessed to work from home or work from wherever we are. And so I find that if I'm just in my pajamas or in my sweats all day, I can still work, but I don't operate with the same type of excellent mindset. When I literally get dressed, and this is how I'm dressed now, is how I dress most days when I'm doing my counseling, relationship counseling, premarital counseling, or purpose strategy. When I dress, I feel better. I have a different mindset, and it's just something that really it begins on the inside, right? When you dress up, you take the time to shave, get your little situation together, nice and crispy. You know what I mean? And when you do that, you feel better about yourself, and you present yourself better. And the presentation of whatever you're doing, it comes across better, and it registers with your clients better. And that's going to ultimately add to your bottom line. So I think for men, that's super important. For women, ladies, listen, you are the creme de la creme. And when you go out, and Lady Renee, you personify this very well, that when a woman goes out, even if she's casually dressed, she doesn't have to have, you know, a gazillion-dollar outfit on, but just some jeans, a nice blouse, some shoes, and some earrings. Honey, if you don't feel like doing your hair, slick it back. But how you present yourself, even casually, it matters, and it makes impact. And a woman can walk into a room, even when she's presented well, even casually, and she can literally shift the atmosphere without even opening her mouth. So to that end, Lady Renee, fashion is important. And please, ladies, please, I have to say this. I will stand on top of this mountaintop forever. Ladies, you can be classy and sexy without revealing everything about what's going on underneath your clothing.
Ooh, we're gonna talk about that. That's a hot one right there. You know, not only is it important for you to have the right style, to realize that you can still be classy without being trashy or without showing so much. How about that? We'll say that, without showing so much. But at the same token, style goes for both, right? It's not just important for a woman to have style, it's also important for a man to have style. And that
Yes.
helps to also allow you. I think this is true to say, Gerald, when you have your A game, like what we say with the bring our A game today, right? When your A game is ready, is getting ready to be presented, you have to be ready from not only from your head to your toe. You remember that song, shoulders, head, what is that? Shoulders, chest, pants, shoes. Shoulder, chest, pants, shoes. You think I knew that, right? But you always want to make sure you come up and you bring not only your confidence, because I think style is about confidence as well. It's about also being able to allow your swagger to be whatever it is. And I love Jeff. He always bring his swagger. You know, Jeff has such that laid back Miami Vice feel. All I need to do is see, where's Crocker? Where's Tiggs? You know,
That's
what's
Jeff.
you guys was? Yes. You're over there in Miami, you're doing the doggone thing. What do you think about your style and fashion, Mr. Jeff, entrepreneur?
Yeah, so maybe if you can hear me okay. Back in the day when I decided to be an entrepreneur.
We can hear him.
Can you hear me okay?
We can hear you, but you're not on the Instagram anymore, Jeff.
Yeah, I got kicked out because I was trying to set up something over here. We got it going all the way through. Let's do.
Okay, we'll bring you
got
back.
me here.
Okay.
Where do you need me on? Instagram?
We see. Yeah, I just invited you to join the conversation on Instagram because you're already in the clubhouse with us, and I'm here. And then I see Gerald in the clubhouse. Are you guys enjoying the conversation? Go ahead on and flash the mics if you're in the clubhouse, if you're enjoying the conversation thus far. Oh yeah, they're flashing the mics, man. They are flashing the mics. So I did invite you back on to the IG. You just got to love technology, guys. You really do. We wanted to make sure that we could touch different aspects of not only being in the clubhouse, YouTube, Facebook, as well as on Instagram. And I think we're doing a really good job with that. And what I've been doing, I just been keeping my volume turned down. So when others are speaking, it's been making a difference. Go ahead, Jeff. Go ahead, Jeff.
All right. I'm getting back in Instagram here. So I don't want feedback. So we have sound here on the computer, sound here. It's driving nuts here.
Okay, go ahead.
And quick as I come back on Instagram.
Yes.
I think you guys hear me in Clubhouse. Yeah, so back in the day when I decided, it's funny, I could lean on Gerald Hightower for this. You know, I never had a problem getting ladies when I was young. To me, it was always conversational copy, which was just what you say to them. And I used to get turned down. Back when I was young, in my 20s, I was brokenhearted and broke. So I wound up learning how to communicate at a high level, how to tell a story, right? Because that always hooks everybody all the time. And the biggest thing is once I became an entrepreneur, when I first came to Clubhouse, right, Renee, and we connected and everything, which is so blessed for that connection. I actually, there's a Bible verse, men judge by the outward appearance. Lord looks on the heart. Well, it's so true that the men judge on the outward appearance, because I showed up in a hoodie and backwards hat trying to be like Gary Vee, one of the guys, and said, hey, I don't care about style. And I was losing consulting bids because I want to look like this. I want to look like somebody I wasn't, right? I was actually shying away from my God-given gifts to hide it all because I wasn't confident in myself. It was the true story. And it wasn't until a lady got a hold of me, said, Jeff, grow out your beard, okay, get a nice clean shave. And I get it. All the most bougiest thing I do is I'll get a hot towel shave at a barbershop, and I feel the sharpest ever. Before I do a YouTube video, I'll do it right before I come out to Atlanta and see you next week. And it's just, it feels like you feel so much better. And I do that more for myself than anybody else, right? So, and because of that, I don't even care, but then it gives me more confidence, right? And I think a lot of times too, so many people get so afraid to get onto, put their voice out there. And if you really just take some time, take care of your fashion, look good, feel good, that just gives some inner confidence that you do it for yourself, whatever you like in there. And then take opinions from someone like Renee Knorr, who knows fashion. Hey, you look good on here. Change this up here. Don't be no, I like my hoodie and I'm too comfortable. It's okay to be uncomfortable, even with your looks. You know, it's not comfortable getting a tight, clean shave sometimes, but it's great feeling afterwards.
Absolutely. Guys, let's put some hearts up for Jeff, the entrepreneur, who not only know how to wear his swagger, who actually, started growing into his swagger. But I love the goatee. I love the fact that you both have facial hairs. And, that's something that it's about also self-maintenance, self-care, as well as just being confident with yourself. We talked about that. Today we're not only going to talk about the mindset with men. We're going to talk about a little bit of those relationships. And we know not only with relationships with each other, meaning men versus women or couples, but also we'll talk about relationships even just with work. Because, guys, I look at you all as not only pillars of the community, you guys are really, Gerald, as well as Jeff, you're carrying so much weight on your shoulders. I feel as if, guys, just within this year alone, more men have to, it's almost like, when you're seeing a man walking and then his knees start buckling as he's walking because he's carrying stress, which he can't express his stress, right? He's carrying relationships, especially if he's in a bad relationships, he's carrying that on his shoulder. Plus he have to be the protector and the provider. Just a lot of things on our men's shoulders right now. Share with me, Gerald, what have you been able to experience, with men, especially because you are the relationship coach and you have an opportunity of speaking to so many partners right now, especially during this time. What have you been able to experience, just within the past year or so?
Yeah, great question, Renee. First and foremost, I am so blessed to have a whole community of men that reach out. Because typically, traditionally, and Jeff will back this up, that men don't generally reach out. Men are expected to either know, or at least we put up a facade and pretend as though we know, right? And so I'm blessed that through Clubhouse and even through YouTube and Facebook, that there's a growing number of men that are reaching out and say, hey, Coach G, I need some help. We talk about self-love And what's becoming more popular is having self-care days and things like that. Most recently, Brittany Griner, WNBA superstar who had been arrested and spent a year, almost a year in Russia, imprisoned, she just recently took time off from her basketball team. And she's like, yo, I need some mental health, because she did the same thing that men do. We're expected to show up and perform. She was imprisoned in Russia, which is nothing like being imprisoned here in the US. She was imprisoned in Russia for almost a whole year. But she came back, and because everybody was so happy that she was back, she just jumped right in. I'm gonna get right back and start playing basketball and get right back to, things as usual. But her life is not as usual. She's got to deal with some mental health. And so this is what most of us men do, Lady Renee. We've mastered the ability to suppress how we feel and not express how we feel. Because from the time that we are little boys, we are told, man up, stop all that crying, boy, stop being a sissy, don't be a punk, man up. And I tell this funny story, Jeff, that I played football my whole life coming up, and now at 12 years old playing Pop Warner football, some big old guy fell on my ankle and broke my ankle. So my dad is rushing me to Kaiser Hospital, Renee, Kaiser Hospital on Sunset, shout out to Hollywood. Rushed me to Kaiser Hospital in Sunset in Hollywood. And the whole time my dad is rushing his 12-year-old son to the hospital, I'm screaming and I'm like, oh my God. And I'm looking at my ankle, and my foot is turned around. My toes are almost looking at me, and it's just crazy looking. And my dad is saying to his son, man up now, son. Stop crying. Stop crying. It's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. Man up. This is what my dad is saying to his 12-year-old son. Of course, he can only give me what my grandfather gave to him, which was a lack of emotional support. Well, now, mind you, my grandfather, the late great Edward Hightower, was born as a Choctaw Indian on a reservation, which is still to this day, just outside of 45 miles outside of Oklahoma City, still there to this day. My grandfather was born in 1897. So quite naturally, he's not in any kind of space intelligently to deal with mental health, right? Or deal with emotions. And so my dad was given, he took what he was given from his father, and that's what he's now imparting to me. My point for sharing that, ladies and gentlemen, is this: that most of us men were always taught to suppress how we feel. It's never been a safe space for us to express ourselves emotionally. So what I want to share with ladies and gentlemen, and I highlight this in my new book coming out, 7 Man Secrets Every Woman Should Know, that ladies, what you have to understand is that men will open up only if they feel safe enough to share their heart with you. Or as I like to say, Lady Renee, if they are safe to feel emotionally naked. If they are safe to feel emotionally naked and they're not shamed and like, oh my God, you're dealing with that? Oh my God, I can't believe it. Oh my God, I ain't never seen a man cry. If that man doesn't feel safe, if he doesn't feel safe that you are willing to be a caretaker of his heart, he may give you the keys to his car. He may give you the keys to his home, but he'll never give you the keys to his heart. And ladies, that's the ultimate goal. You should want to have the keys to that man's heart, because if you get the keys to his heart, he'll give you everything.
Powerful, powerful, powerful. You touched on so many different elements, especially just with men having to man up and to be able to be secure, that vulnerable side as well. I know we have a little bit of feedback going on. That vulnerable side that men are supposed to be comfortable with. A lot of men don't know how to express that. But what you did share with us, women, we have to do our part as well. There's several different things that we have to work on in our relationships. One, we have to know how to support our men better. We have to know how to support our men better. And by supporting our men better, it starts with communication. Sometimes it's just important to listen, to just listen without always responding. The other thing that's important as well, be more of a nurturer in situations, because we don't, our men are so emotional right now. And it's okay for them to cry. It's okay for them to have a bad hair day. It's okay for them to have rough days. Come on now. Bad hair days is okay for guys as well. It's not only for the ladies, all right? It's for the men as well. And then I love the fact that you understood the fact of where's the feedback coming from? All right. Understanding just how to support each other in these times that we're dealing with. I would definitely want to hear from you, Jeff. I cannot wait to hear your information as well. But Gerald, thank you so much for just sharing that insight with us. Jeff, we've been trying to get you back on Instagram. If you can join us on Instagram, that would be great. And if not, we just love seeing your face on YouTube. We have Jeff and also Gerald in the clubhouse as well, guys. So if you haven't already shared out the room, let's make sure we're sharing out the room. These tips that we're sharing, I feel as if like we're spilling the tea. Come on, guys. We're spilling the tea the Tom Ford Thursday way, though. We're spilling the tea. So Jeff, take it away.
Yeah, if I had time to charge my other phone, I would have been there. I don't know if this is going through a feedback, and it's like running the NASA spaceship with this. But yeah, no, actually, that was brilliantly shared by I want to call you Professor Hightower, the way you're dressed up, really just gave her that. But I will say this, men, the way God had it, men had a tougher journey than it's always has. We have to protect and provide. That's what our thing. So there's more that we're called to do. And a lot of times, that so gets pushed aside, that so many people will basically say that, like there's been the whole stigma. I think a lot of times too, with today's culture where we're at, right, is that there has been such a coddling to so many different people and acting emotions that a lot of things, the God-given role that a man has in relationship have been taken away. And it's been in a way where it's been taken away where it kind of, men always feel like when I played football and I did those things, right? I felt like men could confide in men because we understood it, just as women understand other women. But when it comes down to a point when, if you think about it, a good-looking girl like you, Renee, you can just go get on a boat with a nice hat. The guy usually owns the boat, who's the one who puts it up in and does all the work and everything. And we go through all the trials and tribulations to provide for the women. So a lot of times when guys do get scorned and go through heartbreak and all the stuff that we go through at a time is why a lot of times we just feel maybe not understood. And we are, guys, a lot of times too, is understanding the dynamic of relationships. So many people, would get a lot more by listening, men listening to women, everything. We've all come from certain types of, I don't like to put the label trauma on it, but it's all been that. We've all been through certain stuff. I lost my mom when I was young to breast cancer, right? With no life insurance, right? And I encourage everybody to do this. Be okay to believe that people care. In a point where if you believe people don't care, okay, women or men, what you will do is you'll find the people who don't care, okay? And then men and women will feel that they cannot invoke emotions or share stories that's happened in their life. As soon as you do that, your reticular activating system changes, and then you notice the people who care. And the people who don't care, the people actually hurting, who have trauma in their life, and that they want someone to care about them. And it's actually the most, if everybody got that message and did that today, and it's not that you're lying to yourself or anything like that, it's actually a true statement, and you will notice it. So if anybody doesn't remember anything today, remember, hey, go by people care. You'll find the people care. You'll find the people, Renee, what you were saying before, pick up the phone and call you and do just a little bit of extra stuff, because we all we're all blessed to be on this God's earth here. And a lot of times just showing that we care to somebody, opening up ourselves vulnerably, like he says, you will actually be surprised how many people are willing to receive that. But I encourage you, men, work on your best self, become your best self, so you can protect and provide. You do not lose your God-given, right that God gave us.
Absolutely. Well said, guys. Well said. Gentlemen, let's go ahead on and blow up the chats for both Jeff alongside with Gerald as well. I know Jeff, you can hear his voice. You may not see that fabulous face, but you can see his face on YouTube. And if you're right now in the clubhouse, you can watch us on Instagram as well as we're on Facebook. Also, we are right here on our YouTube channel. So guys, this is another question I have for you all, because we see currently right now, and then after that, we're going to return right back into the clubhouse to continue on, because we have many more with other questions. We see how society has truly have changed in the past years. Look what we're doing right now. All three of us, we're literally dealing with this whole digital society space. Artificial intelligence is totally taken over. And I know this is definitely Jeff's sweet spot. So I'm going to have Jeff to start us off with this. That's something else that we have to literally start now preparing our men for. Bad enough they already had so many other things that was pretty much weighing them down. Now it's something else. And so I think overall, how can we not only focus on preparing us for a stronger economy, a stronger marketing space, but also preparing our men for another challenge? Because whenever we have to embrace something new, it is a challenge. And so, Jeff, give us some insight in that area and how we can help provide sort of some more tools just for our men, so therefore they can be able to thrive as well, especially with the artificial intelligence space. When I look up these days, you're not even sure if you're looking at the real person anymore. It's like, will your real person stand up? It's like so many of these pictures are not real people, or even just, I think I love the fact there's two things about artificial intelligence, because it has helped us to advance, but it's still a new challenge. It's something new for us to start embracing. So talk to us in regard to what are some of the ways that we can be able to benefit. How can we benefit from this space, and what can we do to adapt to change?
So yeah, Renee, back on Clubhouse and everything here, but listen, I will say this. We, as conscious leaders, we must embrace technology to it is. Just like back in the crop dusting days when there was farmers back in there and they came up with the machines to make it faster, and people said, hey, we're going to get rid of our jobs, and they were scared of it. It's the same thing. We've only innovated all the times. I had an AI software back in 2019. I was on it. What we're at right now is generative AI. For those who don't know, I'll go a little slower. I bought Jeff GPT because I was on the call with Hightower yesterday, and he was like, man, you're going so fast, like limitless.
I know.
And a lot of times people tell me to regenerate because God's given me a good ability to store my brain what it is. There's something called singularity. Do you guys know what singularity is? Yeah. So that is a very real, it was a concept by Ray Kurzweil, and it's basically saying when robots and artificial intelligence will surpass humans. The thing is, and listen, I was talking to a bunch of the big leaders, Lex Friedman and stuff like this, in the AI space, because it will have to be regulated at some point. But the really question is who's going to regulate it in the governmental sign. So that is coming as it gets more dangerous. There is a total danger with AI that if we don't do it. However, the more danger is if the good people, the conscious leaders don't embrace it, Because basically what it'll do is it'll just help everything become easier. I'm a consultant. I get paid to look over copy, marketing, etc. I love it. I tell people, go run it through ChatGPT. There's a gold rush right now. I will warn everybody right now. There's a gold rush right now because if you have a UI, a user interface, and use a large language model, which is what we all know what ChatGPT is, and I question you to use ChatGPT every day. Just get familiar with that. There's going to be other forms of it, but that'll be the main conscious of what it's going to be. Vivek, who's running for president, he said this, and it was actually a pretty smart thing. He said, I discourage us to make this AI not have a human force, like you were saying, Renee, because once you do that, there's going to be emotional connection to it. You can go to this is not a real person.com or whatever and find a bunch of deep fakes, right? We are very much in if with a click of a button can make a duplicate clone, load all the technology that we're recording here on YouTube and stuff, put it in and have someone do that. There's actually been scams now of people saying, hey, I need money in the voice. What this is rising for, it's rising for a new age of an era. There's a great book called Changing the World Order by Ray Diallo, and it basically talks about innovation and innovation and change. And we're at that point right now. This has been a huge part for it. So what we can do are these three things. The first thing you can do, embrace it as it is. Don't run from it, but embrace it. Get as educated with best people on how you can help it improve your daily work life. Okay. The second thing you want to do is there's something called quality insurance. Okay. And basically what is you want to get really good at asking better questions. Okay. Because what it's going to be, even though all these companies that we're consulting, we're showing them how to use AI now in the employees, they label someone who has quality assurance that will look over the prompts, the questions that they have, that they're good. So you want to make sure that you're someone who's aware of it, right? And by doing that, you're going to ask better questions. There's a great quote, I think it was Tony Robbins, who said, the quality of your life is the quality of questions you ask. Well, that's never more so true with AI. And the third thing I want you guys to do is actually, unlike NFTs and unlike the metaverse, which is it's all moving towards a one word we're all going to connect on it. AI is something right now that anybody can use to make your job, your life easier and save time. There's a different thing that you can do. If you write this down, ITR, investment, time, return. So the time of investment to be on here, right? The return of whatever it is. Time's the most valuable thing. And the reason why AI will supersede, and you can go look at McDonald's and there's crazy stuff. We do AI summits every Thursday at 8. We're switching it tonight, but we do them just to keep people, hey, these are the 3 AI tools we're using, so they're used better, okay? So I try and educate people on that. We vet them, we buy them, because there's a lot of scams out there, and with any space when it comes out, right? People want to make a quick buck, man. That's going to happen. So you want to get around conscious people, know what they're talking about, who generally care about what your business is at, and guide you into that right thing. And that's why we're all coaches, we're all consultants in a way, but stay in your lane where you're at, right? And know somebody in there. And I know what I don't know, right? So I am the smartest person because of Elon Musk. I surround myself with the smartest people, right? So that way I know how to connect people. And as God's given me a good gift to connect people to a point of, no, this person's perfect for this, which is why I keep, great people like you in my ecosystem of who I can connect you guys with.
I'm agreeing with Gerald. You are definitely a GPT. Okay, you are so fast with your information. But what I love about it, we have to realize. Can everybody still hear us? Okay. Okay, sorry about that. I was muted. What I want to just say is, not only is it important for us to embrace the artificial intelligence, to embrace the new space. We were so wrapped around the .com series, and that's something that you just shared with us, Jeff. We have to be ready for change and embrace it, because it allows us, what we don't realize, it takes us more time for us to be resistant, as opposed to just allowing us to flow in order for us to expand and grow in that area. One of the other things, I love the fact that we are excited that you will be with us also for the Power to Soar Leadership Conference. We're going to talk about the artificial intelligence. We're going to talk about the whole marketing space. That's definitely your sweet spot. And we know where we are growing, Elon Musk, alongside with even Sir Richard Branson, all those guys truly adore how they have totally just taken it to a whole different atmosphere. December, we will be in Dubai, and guess who's going to be there, Jeff? Elon Musk, alongside with Sir Richard Branson, Jeff Cunningham, Renee Knorr, and then Gerald Hightower. We will be there. Okay, guys? These guys are always staying ahead of the curve. I had the pleasure of meeting Sir Richard Branson in 2015 for the whole electronic cars, and Elon Musk was right there with him as well. And the great part about it, guys, you want to be a part of growth. Somebody put that in the chat. I have to stay growing. I have to stay growing. I have to stay moving. We were listening to Crystal Tremack, her book today. And what an amazing book, guys. I'm going to put the plug in. One of the girls could definitely drop it in the link as well. We got to keep ourselves moving, mind, body, and soul. And while we keep on moving, we have to keep ourselves also engaged with new opportunities, because we know right now the world is no shortage of money. Wouldn't you guys agree about that? There's no shortage of money
100%.
at all.
100%.
So I mean, I got another grant that just came across my table. I was talking to Mr. Hightower. Is a new Next Door grant. That's what this grant is called, Next Door Kind Foundation. So what they want to do, they're collaborating with the NAACP. They're talking about giving away $100,000, guys, $100,000. So with so much information that's out there, guys, we just have to be able to absorb it. And even if you can't understand it, you still have to get in there so you can position yourself so you can level up and leverage up. Relationship key. Mr. Hightower, how has it been in regard to you? You know, I'm not going to single you out right now, but I'm going to have to single you out because even with relationships, so suppose if one of your mates want to learn more and then the other one doesn't want to learn more, does that cause a problem with that relationship? Because of course it starts with an agreement, but share with us, even like when you're dealing with new relationships or even just marital relationships, have it been a challenge that you've seen one of the partners wanted to excel and then the other one don't want to excel? Has that ever been a problem?
Oh, yes. It happens frequently. And, you know, there's two principles to share. And one is in the scripture in Amos 3, verse 3. And the scripture asks us a question. Can two walk together unless they be agreed? Now, of course, that means, Lady Renee, that we're not going to agree on every single thing. There's going to be disagreement. But what the scripture is asking us and giving us the principle that we must flow together in the spirit of agreement, that we are moving forward in oneness. It doesn't mean that we're going to agree on everything. We're going to disagree on some things. But in a love relationship, and even in a partnership, a friendship, you want to make sure that we're harmoniously moving together, because the ultimate goal, especially in a relationship, in a courting relationship and a marriage, you want to make sure that you're moving together in oneness. The ultimate goal is to make sure that we have shared core values. Number two, that we are communicating with each other openly and honestly. And then number three, that we can disagree without being disagreeable. We don't have to insult each other. You old bag, I can't believe you ain't going my way. You old fish-eyed fool, what you mean? You know, I mean, we don't have to act like, you know, Red Fox, you know, Sanford and old Aunt Esther.
Yeah,
you
Aunt
know,
Esther.
Aunt Esther, you know, on Sanford and Son. You know, we don't have to come at each other like that. We can disagree without being nasty to each other or disagreeable. And so that's really the bottom line. Okay. If one person is deciding that they don't want to grow, and this is why you have to have upfront conversations, ladies and gentlemen, because you want to see, where does this person's mindset? TM talked about it in the Breakfast of Champions room today, asking a question. And the question is, where do you see yourself in 3 years, 5 years? Where do you see yourself in 10 years? If a person can at least give you a modicum of understanding about where they're going and where they desire to go, that chances are is this person really doesn't have a clear vision for their life. And if they don't have a vision for their life and they're unwilling to make changes, listen, Jeff, Lady Renee, I've learned, albeit the hard way, people that say they're not trying to change are essentially saying they're not trying to grow, because growth requires change. And so when a person is saying that they don't want to make changes, like, I'm good, I'm 42, I ain't trying to change for nobody. And when they have that kind of mindset, then guess what? If we move forward in a relationship, the relationship is going to suffer from arrested development, because both of us have to be moving in sync, moving in concert if the relationship is going to grow and flourish.
On that note, not only are we going to grow, we're going to continue on flourishing together. We're going to take this conversation back into the clubhouse. We got a full house is waiting to go right all in. And guys, I'm so grateful that we are here today. August the 17th through the 20th, we will be at the Power to Soar Leadership Conference. We're going to have authors. It's a golf tournament alongside with incredible speakers. Over 20 speakers is going to be joining us for August the 17th through the 20th at Power to Soar Leadership Conference, Chateau Elan. You don't want to miss this, guys. We're going to return right back into the clubhouse. And guys, we want to thank you all for definitely joining us on this segment right here. This is Tom Ford Thursdays, and we will be back. I already know we're coming back Thursday, bigger, bolder, and better. For right now, guys, join us back into the clubhouse. Thank you, guys.